what led me to opening this bookstore, I think it's really a shared dream. So Terry Cardenas is my business partner. She's my girlfriend. We've been together for 6 years. She's not here right now, but she's here in spirit. When we first met, it was in college. We were both English majors, and the thing that we first bonded over was books. We were like the two nerds in class, honestly, who were actually English majors and like not there because it was like a required credit, and so we actually enjoyed reading the books and whatnot. So we kind of found that shared kinship, and I think both of us, well, we didn't realize at the time that that was going to be the start of this sort of journey, but we both had that shared dream of one day wanting to open a bookstore. It's one of those like bucket list things, and I think around 2021 we started talking about it more seriously. But we started going around looking for places, and we never really found the right place. Either we liked it and it wasn't for rent, or it was for rent and it was just too crazy of a renovation. And, it was always that kind of thing. And so I think in 2024, maybe 2024, 23, this place kind of opened up for applications. And we applied right away and we got into it. And so it's just kind of been ever since then, like us developing the brand and the design and all that sort of thing. So my relationship with books, with reading, I would say it goes back, way back to when I was a little kid. My parents were always real kind of supportive of like pushing that. And it's something that I just always kind of clicked with. Like it was, reading and language arts, those were always my best subjects. I grew up, being taken to the children's library over on Fort Duncan. So I'd be there all the time, and it was never like a chore for me, like in class you had to do the AR program and get your points and all that sort of thing. Like I always enjoyed, finishing up early and being allowed to go to the library and pick out a book, and also that whole feeling of, kids gather together and you tell each other which book is the best and why. So the shop, beyond being a business, I would say it means a lot of things. I mean, in a lot of ways, I feel like it's pretty tied to my relationship with Terry. I mean, that's something that I feel like it wouldn't have happened on my own. I think it really was it's a team kind of thing. We connected, I think, because we very much complement each other's strengths. I mean, I would say we've been doing stuff like this ever since we were in college, because we were both in the English club together. She was the president and I was the vice president, and we came up with a bunch of activities. And a lot of it was during COVID, actually. Bookshops owned by Latinos, it's a pretty small minority. I mean, just in general, like the literature, what's it called, like the community, whether it's like publishing, agents, sales reps, like everything really, writers, Latinos are pretty underrepresented. So it was pretty cool. We went to our regional association, it's called MPIBA, and we went to their conference, and we were one of the only Latinos in that room, and so that's, I think on that level, it means a lot to us. And I've always kind of wanted to be part of that sort of community. So to do that and then also be representing, something bigger, that's pretty cool. I think what's cool is I see a lot of young people who are getting into reading, probably because of BookTok, or pretty much definitely because of BookTok. And so they're really interested in classics. Like that's one of the things that when I first started really surprised me, because there's the kids who are coming in here, they're like 15 years old and they're asking for Dostoevsky, which is crazy, like Russian classic literature. And I've told other teachers, because they're all curious, and they say the same thing. They're like super surprised that that's the case. But yeah, I would say like for the most part, the teenagers are more interested in classics and like philosophy and things like that. So that's cool to see, and I hope that we continue to push that sort of thing. I think there's a lot of adults who come in too, and they're not big readers, but they just are excited by being in a space like this, or they have family members, and we hope to continue to push stuff like that. So like another way that when we initially designed the store, we wanted to have people feel like, you know, it's something for the community to come in and be able to chat and hang out and feel like they, you know, are at home, that kind of a vibe. Is we always had a built-in bench as part of the design. At some point we had like 4, but then we were like, no, this place is a little too small for that. So we settled on the one that's in the back. And what's really cool is when like a family will come in and they'll sit down there with their kids and they'll read a book, and then when they really enjoy it, they take it with them, and you know, they're able to read it to them at home. So I think bookstores still matter today. I mean, for a lot of reasons. Bookstores are kind of in a weird place as far as being like a specialty shop where books haven't really changed in a long time. They've kind of never gone away in the way that I feel like, for example, like Blockbuster kind of went away, or like record shops. Well, not that we ever had one here, but and those are all coming back, right? But like they never went away to come back. You know, I guess one way to put it is like a record was replaced by a cassette was replaced by a CD by an MP3 player, MP3 player with Spotify. And that progression has never happened with books. And even now, you have like like an e-reader and like ebooks and Audible and all those sort of things, audiobooks. Those have never overtaken physical copies. And even now it's kind of going in the opposite direction, where I think it's something like 80 to 90% of the market share is still physical books. And it's trending more towards physical. So I don't know why that is exactly. I would guess it's because most people who are readers, I guess they just prefer having the physical copy, and they're collectors. They like to gift the book as well. It's not as easy to gift an ebook. I think as a reader, I've always preferred having the tangible book for my collection. I like gifting a lot as well. And yeah, like as far as a specialty shop, like I said, it's really one of those weird things that it's just kind of always been around, and right now they're having a little bit of a resurgence, especially after COVID. And even during COVID, there was a lot that were popping up. So it's honestly, it is kind of weird. Like when people talk about it, it kind of doesn't make sense on paper, but the culture seems to accept it. And so I hope that it continues that way, obviously. But I think it would be one of those things where, like, if a bookshop ever went away, it's kind of like, I don't know, like a book would have to be replaced by something else. And I think the next evolution doesn't really exist for it, maybe. I'm Vic with Beetle Books. We're located here at 364 East Main Street, Suite C, part of the Riskin building. We have our own entrance right here in the front. We're open most days 11 to 7, Sundays 11 to 5, Mondays we're closed. You can find us right next to the Arts and Culture Center. You can follow us on pretty much any social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, at Beetle Books EP, and we'd love to see you here soon.